Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Nishitha. Please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up if you like my review. In today's video, I'm going to test out the Jouer Essential High Coverage Cream Foundation, and I also got their concealer. So I did a poll on YouTube asking you guys if you wanted to see the review of both these products in one video or in two separate videos. Most of you, said to review them in just one video. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I'm not gonna do the wear test of these two products on the same day. Today I'm gonna test out the foundation, do a wear test, and tomorrow I'm gonna try out the concealer. Because if one of these products are bad, since I've never used either of these products before, if one messes up with the other one, since they lay on top of each other, I won't be able to point and tell if it's the foundation that's causing that or if it's the concealer. Today, I'm just going to do a wear test on the foundation. Tomorrow, I'm going to film again and test out the concealer. So that way, I don't, overlap both the reviews and you still get to see both the reviews in the same video. So today, we are going to test out the foundation first. So let's jump into it. This is how the packaging looks like. It's a glass bottle. It comes with the pump, which I like. And you get only 0.68 fluid ounce. Usually foundations come with 1 fluid ounce. So I'm going to pull up the Sephora website and see the claims of this foundation. It's a lightweight, long wear foundation with supreme coverage and an impeccable airbrushed matte finish. So it has hyaluronic acid in that, and it also has chamomile and cucumber extract to help soothe and calm your skin. Hyaluronic acid is really good for hydration. So even though it's a full coverage matte finish, it's not supposed to dry out your skin because it has hyaluronic acid in it. But it is an oil-free foundation. This is the swatch of the shade Caramel. This is a little bit older, like I think it's been 5 minutes since I've had this on, and this is a brand new swatch. As you can see, it changes color just a little bit. I think it's just adjusting to my skin, chemistry. And I'm going to do a swatch on my face as well, so you can see. So I had to choose this shade online. It's not available in the store. In the Sephora that's closer to me, and it seems like a good match. So I'm going to start with the application process. One side I'm going to use my beauty blender, and on one side I'm going to use a kabuki brush like always. So they say one pump is all you need. You have to use a little bit of this foundation. So that's what they say here. A small drop is all you need to achieve a picture perfect look. So I'm just going to start off slow and see. So I'm just going to dot it on, and I'm using very little bit and blending it out. Oh boy, it is a super full coverage foundation. It covered pretty much everything, like super full coverage. And I took like about, half a pump, and there is still a lot left on the back of my hand. I just used very little bit of this foundation. It's like highly pigmented. So there was about 1 layer of this foundation, and all I used was 1 pump. Granted, I wasted a little bit on the back of my hand, but on my face there is only 1 pump of this foundation. A little bit goes a really long way with this, so you need to use a pump or less. But this foundation is a super full coverage one. Like, I don't think I've used a foundation that is this full coverage in my entire life, like so far. It is very full coverage. So, but even though it's, super full coverage, it doesn't feel heavy on my skin. But at the same time, it doesn't look super natural. Like, if you see me in person, you can tell that I'm wearing foundation, but it doesn't feel heavy. It is not caking up so far. It is looking really good because, I used only 1 layer of this. And one more thing I want to mention is that when you touch the foundation, it does feel a little bit creamy. Like, it's not runny, but at the same time, it's not, very thick consistency foundation, but it does settle fast. You either want to work in sections or blend out the foundation really quick. You don't want to let the foundation sit on your skin for a really long time before you blend it out. It pretty much covered every acne blemish that I had on my skin, and I don't see a point in layering this foundation because I already got the coverage that I wanted. So it is a very super full coverage foundation. So brush versus a beauty blender, the foundation blended out fine with both the tools, but I personally prefer a beauty blender because it is a very matte finish foundation. So if you have dry skin, go with the beauty blender. If you have oily skin, it depends. Like, you can use either one, but I can see it is slightly cracking in my smile lines already. Maybe once I set with the setting spray and everything, it might be okay. But as of now, it is slightly cracking in my smile lines. So now I'm going to come closer to the camera so you guys can see up close how this foundation looks on my skin. So now I'm going to jump off camera, finish the rest of my makeup, and when I get back, I'm going to tell you guys how everything laid on top of this. So I'll see you all in some time. Hey guys, I'm back, and it's been almost like 1.5 hours since I've had this foundation on. I think I applied it around 10:45 or so. Now it's almost like 12:30. But I have to say, I do not like this foundation. Like bronzer, blush, concealer, everything blended fine on top of this. But my biggest complaint is that I cannot get over the fact how cakey it looks in certain areas. Like, on camera, it looks perfect. Like, it does look picture perfect. But if you come up close to my skin, you will be able to see like that the foundation is looking very cakey in here, and it's acting very weird around my mouth as well. This is not the first time I tried to use this foundation. Like 2 days back when I was before I went to work, I did use this foundation to do some spot concealing in certain areas. When I first applied it, it covered my blemishes really well. When I went to my car, before I started driving to work, I saw my makeup in the car mirror, and it looked very weird. Like the foundation was breaking apart. It was not covering the blemish anymore. It was caking up. It was looking very evident that I was trying to cover something and it was not doing its job. It looked so weird that I had to come back, take it all off, and do my makeup all over again. So, at that point, I thought maybe it was the moisturizer that I used underneath. Maybe it was messing up with the foundation. So today, before I applied the foundation, I did not use any moisturizer. I just used my Too Faced Hangover RX Primer. I know that works really well, especially with, full coverage matte foundations. And even today, it's doing the same thing. Like, it's looking very cakey. Like, I did use a lot of setting spray. I did try to manage it as best as I could. But it was, breaking apart in this area. And this foundation does transfer quite a bit. Like, when I first started off, my hands were really clean. But it is, I don't know if you guys are able to see, but it is transferring a little bit. And I do not want to set this with a powder right now, because it's already caking up and powder is just going to make it look worse. Let me try and zoom you guys in. Hopefully the camera is able to catch what I'm talking about, but I don't know. I'm still going to try. Can you guys see, like, around my mouth? Like, it's literally breaking apart. I do see a lot of cakiness, especially in this area, and you can see, like, it's cracking in my smile lines. I think on forehead, like on camera, it looks okay. It's not breaking apart or anything like that. But in person, you can tell that it's looking very heavy even on my forehead here. So far, I do not like it, but I'm going to continue to do the wear test, and I'll come back in 2 hours to do one more check-in. So I'll see you all in some time. Hey guys, I am back, and right now it's, I don't know if you guys can see, but anyways, it's 4:30 right now. It's been 4 more hours since I've had this foundation on. That makes it a 5-hour point, and I have to say I don't like this foundation. Unfortunately, I'm not going to continue to do the wear test because I already know how I feel about this foundation. First, let's start off with the one main good thing about this foundation, which is the shade range. This foundation comes in 50 different shades. Which is, really commendable. Like, I really appreciate the fact that their shade ranges from the palest to the darkest. I just wish more brands would inspire from this and would come out with more shades. But formula, I'm just like not at all pleased with. It is looking very cakey. It's separating in many areas. It's looking way worse than it did when I did the 12 o'clock check-in. My bronzer, blush, everything is still on there, but the foundation is separating, like caking up around my mouth. It's like, separating on my nose. On my forehead, it's still doing good. Unfortunately, this is not a foundation for me. As you can see, a little bit of shininess is peeking through. When I first applied it, it did stay pretty matte. But right now, it's not that hot in Arizona. Even in this room, it's very normal. It's not that hot. But you can still see a little bit of shininess. But that's not a biggest complaint. That is fine. If I powder my skin a little bit, that will go away. But the thing is, I don't want to powder the skin. It is, gathering around my nose as well. It's cracking in my smile lines. Like, I just don't like how this foundation looks on my skin. And personally, I would not recommend this. If you're looking for a good, full coverage foundation, try the Lancome Longwear Liquid Foundation. Try their Stick Foundation. Try the Dior Forever Foundation. The Dior Face and Body is good. The Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation is good. Even though it's not a full coverage, that's like, 100 times better than this foundation. If you're looking for a good, affordable drugstore foundation, get the Maybelline Super Stay. You will get, very decent amount of coverage. Maybe not as high as this one, but you will get a decent amount of coverage and it's not going to cake up on you like this foundation is caking up on me. So now I'm going to pull you guys in closer, do some close-ups. So that completes the foundation review. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to start off with the concealer review. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. I mean, in just a few seconds, but still it's tomorrow for me. So please stay tuned. Hey guys, so it's day 2. It's the next day. I tried the foundation yesterday. So today we are going to test out the concealer. And I'm going to quickly pull up the Sephora website and read the claims of this concealer. So it's a full coverage concealer in 25 shades to smooth imperfections, contour and highlight. Essential high coverage liquid concealer offers full coverage with hyaluronic acid to achieve a creaseless soft matte finish while correcting and smoothing the look of imperfections. It's also formulated with anisette fruit extract and vitamin E to help skin glowing and looking refreshed all day long. So it's a gluten-free, vegan and cruelty-free product. So I got the shade Honey, which seems to be a little bit lighter than what I usually go for in my concealers. Online, this is the best I could do. But it is like a little bit lighter than my skin tone, so I don't know how it will work out. So first I'm gonna start off by applying the concealer. So I'm just gonna do that much first. As you can see, it is like really light. But let's see if it works. So I'm just taking my damp sponge and blending it out. It is a really good coverage concealer. So I'm going to go back and forth like this. So that has a really good coverage, like it's really full coverage. I'm going to add just a little bit more. I don't think I need it, but I'm still going to add a little bit more. Oh, you really don't need a lot of this concealer. Like, it is very thick, so a little bit goes a really long way. I feel like I added too much. Let's hope it doesn't cake up. But I feel like it's blending out quite nicely. And it is giving like a really good coverage. Since I used a concealer that is like, 2 to 3 shades lighter than my skin tone, it is like really brightening underneath there. So if you don't like that brightening effect and if you have extreme dark circles, I would say go with a shade deeper. Like if you have extreme dark circles, even though it's full coverage, if you use a concealer that is this lighter than your skin tone, it can give you a grey overcast. It can make your under eyes look even more dull. So, but I feel like this particular shade worked out really well for me. It is adding a really good coverage. Okay, so based on first impressions, I really like how this concealer makes my under eyes look. It has coverage as good as Tarte Shape Tape. It has a little bit more coverage than the Too Faced Born This Way Sculpting Concealer, the new one that comes in a fat bottle. But blendability wise, I feel like Tarte Shape Tape blends out a little bit easier than this one. This one blended out fine, like don't get me wrong, but I feel like this concealer sets a little bit faster than Tarte Shape Tape. And it's not drying underneath the eyes as well, but at the same time it's not hydrating, because they mentioned in the claims that it's going to be a hydrating concealer, but I don't think that's the case. I mean, it's not drying out my under eyes, but at the same time it's not, giving me that extra hydration. It is not tacky to the touch whatsoever. It is not transferring. So it did set quite fast, and I haven't applied any powder on it yet, but it's not creasing or doing any weird stuff underneath my eyes. So far I like it. Now I'm going to set the concealer in powder and do the wear test and see how this performs. I'm going to set the concealer using my Charlotte Tilbury powder. So now I'm going to continue to do the wear test. I will see you guys like after, 6 to 8 hours probably. And when I get back, I'm going to do like, close-up shot so we can see together how this concealer performed throughout the day. So yeah, I'll see you all in a few hours. So guys, I'm back and it's been almost 8 hours since I've had this concealer on. And I have to say it's a really good concealer. Coverage is amazing on this. It hasn't creased on me. It is pretty long wearing. It hasn't budged throughout the day. But the only concern that I have about this concealer is that it is looking a little bit drying underneath my eyes. When I first read the claims, they did say that this was going to be a hydrating one, but I don't think that's the case. When I first applied it, it didn't feel like it was providing me any extra hydration, but as the day went on, I started to feel a little bit tight underneath my eyes. So this particular concealer, at least for this time of the year, is feeling a little bit drying underneath my eyes. I love my Tarte Shape Tape, but these days I haven't been reaching for it a lot because I'm facing a similar problem with Tarte Shape Tape as well right now. Since it's winter, my under eyes are a little bit drier than usual. So I've been reaching for my Cover FX Power Play Concealer and my new Too Faced Concealer a lot. It is a really good concealer and it feels like, very similar to Tarte Shape Tape. But this is not a bad concealer by any means. Like, especially when compared to the foundation that I tried out yesterday, this concealer performed way better. I really like it, but just, not for this time of the year, if that makes sense. So if you have extremely, dry under eyes, I don't think you will like this concealer very much unless, you do a really nice prep using a hydrating eye cream or something. So I'm going to pull you guys in closer now. And hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Like if you go really up close to my lower lash line, you can see that it is looking very drying. But I don't know if camera will be able to catch it, but I'll still try. So it's kind of exaggerating like all the lines that I have. That's the only complaint that I have about this concealer. But as you can see, it is still on there. It is still giving me that really good full coverage and it hasn't creased on me. But yeah, it's just exaggerating all the lines that I have. So that completes the review of Jouer Foundation and Concealer. So if I have to pick one, I'm obviously going to pick the concealer because I don't like the foundation at all. I just don't like how it sat on my skin. I might use that mixed in with other foundations because it has really good coverage, but the formula on its own just did not work out for me. Whereas the concealer is really good. I just have, other concealers that I'm reaching for a lot because of my, because my skin is a little bit drier than usual. So if you have extremely dry skin and extremely dry under eyes, I would say over this one, go with the Cover FX Power Play. But if you're looking for good coverage, try the Makeup Forever Camouflage Concealer or the, Too Faced Multi-Sculpting Concealer. Those three concealers might not have as good coverage as Tarte Shape Tape and the Jouer Concealer. But at least they don't look drying underneath my eyes. So I prefer a more hydrating product over a full coverage product, if that makes sense. So that completes the review. I really hope it was helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments down below what other product reviews you want to see on my channel. Thank you so much for watching this review. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And also give this video a thumbs up if you like my review. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on any of my uploads. I'll see you all in my next one. Take care. Bye.